Coming live from EverMedia Studios in Los Angeles. This is EverTalk Live. Yeah.
Happy Tuesday, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is EverTalk Live, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., streaming on all things social and, of course, on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app for your daily dose of Hollywood and happiness, a little pop culture and positivity.
I love that.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. I'm missing my mug today. I forgot about it.
What is this day?
I know.
Thought it was Wednesday all morning.
It's easy to understand. Sometimes I feel like I've lived like 2 weeks in a single day. It's ridiculous.
We're so excited on this Tuesday to welcome our very special guest this morning. Hello. I'm back in the studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
The beautiful Lori Mills is in the house. She is an award-winning fine artist and incredible oil painter based right here in Southern California in Malibu. How are you today, Lori?
I'm great. How are you, Jeslyn?
We're so grateful that you're here with us. We'd like to know what your morning routine is. How do you wake up and stay woke?
Well, I'm an artist living in Malibu, so you probably won't be surprised to know the first thing that I do is light a dream candle. And I light that dream candle, and then I continue to write down my dreams, because studies show if you want to manifest your dreams, 70% of the time if you do this, they will come true.
Wow, that's fantastic. You are living most people's goals right there, their dream life. That's awesome.
I feel like I am.
I'm an Amazon Prime dream journal.
Are you? Yes.
Yes, 24-hour delivery, please, those dreams.
It's time.
Well, thank you for being with us. We're excited. Shane Callahan is in the house, hot off of Hulu's original Reprisal. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. So how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your routine like?
Well, I mean, usually I go back to sleep if I'm lucky.
Spoken like a true actor.
Yes. But I actually like to try to drift into nothingness, sort of, and kind of enter a void if I can, and then all the chaos that happens after that, I feel like I can handle it a little bit better.
That is fantastic. You know, I do the exact same thing. I actually try to forget about everything, like the entire world, everybody in the world, including myself. It's like the most peaceful experience, isn't it?
It does, and good sheets help with that.
Yes, this is true. Good sheets.
It's very key.
The right temperature. Yeah.
Between the nothingness and the chaos,
Yeah.
just have good sheets.
There you go,
That's all that matters. Well, thanks so much for being with us. A master of evolution, Evelyn, is in the house. Good morning, Evelyn.
Good morning.
Oh, I can't wait to hear all about your personal story of transformation this Tuesday later in the show. But first, tell us, how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your morning routine?
Oh, my morning routine is really important. So I wake up and everything's timed to like the 5-minute, 10-minute. So I wake up and then the first thing that I do is go into a visualization and meditation exercise. And then something that I really like to do is mindset journaling. And so really sorting through my limiting beliefs in the morning, turning it around so that it's really empowering and just starting my day off on the right foot, because studies have also shown that you cannot be grateful and angry at the same time.
Beautifully said. I love that. So the schedule that you have, is it like scheduled into your phone, or do you just know it automatically?
So I live by my planner. If I don't have my planner, my day doesn't function. So right when I wake up, I write down the time that I wake up to really hold myself accountable. And then my morning routine usually takes about like 30 minutes.
That's fantastic. Somebody who still handwrites things. It's amazing.
I'm an old soul.
You and me both, Evelyn. Well, thank you all so much for being with us. We look forward to continuing the conversation later in the show. You know, that's interesting. She said you can't be grateful and angry at the same time.
Yes.
Because whoever said that is not a Gemini.
Have you experienced both at the same time?
Almost every day of my life.
Yeah.
Yes, it's innately in me to experience a duality in that form. If anyone else is a Gemini, I would love to know if you agree with me. Slide into my DMs, leave a comment. Are you angry and grateful at the same time? Because I am.
Are you grateful about the things that you're angry about, or angry about the things you're grateful for? How does this work?
It can be both. Now, there's so many things in my life I am truly blessed, and I recognize I have a unique opportunity in this life to sit here with you, to meet all these incredible people, but there are things that I am angry about. Now, I might not be grateful and angry about the same thing unless it's an ex-boyfriend at the exact same time. Thank you, next. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But other than that, in Ariana Grande, I think you can experience that duality.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this world and this amazing country that we live in, but I'm angry about the status in which we're operating.
Yeah, it's a good point, Jess. I feel you on that, like the anger thing, and I think anger actually can be a much more empowering emotion, I think, than helplessness or hopelessness, right? And I can certainly understand what you mean, that they can both come from similar places even, right? That you feel grateful about something, but you also know that it can be better or that you want it to be better. And I think a lot of people are struggling with that right now. I mean, we talked yesterday, like, about the unhappiness in the United States and how it's at an all-time low, like 71 years. This is the unhappiest
I am mad
period
about
of time.
that.
Yeah. I feel you on that, Jess. I feel you on that. You know, it's interesting, and I wonder, and we'll have to ask everyone about it. If by saying, "Oh, you can't be grateful and angry at the same time," she literally means in that very single moment, right? So over the course of a day, yes, you experience both gratitude and you experience anger and all kinds of emotions, but in one single moment, can you experience both?
Yes, if you are a Gemini, I will hold to that.
I love it, Jess. That's awesome.
In honor of Transformation Tuesday, I wanted to share a couple new products that I'm really excited about that can transform your morning or your evening.
What you got
if you will.
there?
I have got Daily Greens and Adaptogen by Real Source. And it's made with water lentils.
Oh man, wow! What
Who
are
knew?
water? I don't even know I know what lentils are, but water lentils.
Right? Get your
It's
Daily
awesome.
Greens and Adaptogen. See, I like to be able to just put a scoop in anything, take it down, and know I'm getting everything I need.
You know, it's interesting how infrequently I eat green stuff.
This
Lately,
one's
I've been
for
getting
you,
better and better.
Rob.
But my goodness, this is the best way to get it in, right?
Greens and
Just mix it.
Adaptogen, water
I know.
lentils. You keep
Awesome.
those, and I'm keeping the chips because they are brand new from Goodies. Our friends from Goodies, you saw them on the show, just recently last year has released chocolate chips. And what's best about this? Guilt-free. And by guilt-free, I mean sugar-free, dairy-free, maltol-free, and they're keto-friendly.
I love that, but not taste-free. That's awesome.
Delicious.
Oh, I gotta check that out. And you got some? Is that 2 bags of that? No, what's that one?
No, this is just a few things you can add your chocolate chips to, like the chocolate snack cake and these great cookies. But I'm not gonna lie, I eat chocolate chips like.
Do you?
Yeah.
Just like plain?
If any of you know me or may have spent a night with me, sometimes I eat them in bed.
Really? Just the chocolate chips themselves?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Guilty
can appreciate
pleasure.
that. Yeah.
I'll sit there if I'm watching a movie in bed. I'll open up a bag of chocolate chips and I'll wake up and I've got like chocolate smeared on my arm when you
gosh, that's
lose one or
hilarious.
two. You know.
That's awesome. I used to do that with like whipped cream. It's the best. My mom got me into that. Just,
Our
in the
moms are gonna
cans.
freak out and be like, "Why are you talking about
I know.
chocolate and whipped cream
I know, it's the
in
best,
your
though.
bed at night?" Well,
Right. What else is going on there, Jess? Huh?
it's
Right?
a sexy story by
Totally.
yourself with chocolate
Oh my
chips.
gosh! So it's just interesting. It brings us sort of the topic of the day. Look, I grew up playing sports, and
I
when
did
you grow
not.
up, right, and you grow up playing sports, to move into like a period of life where you're just exercising to exercise is kind of weird because I'm used to competing. So it took me a little while to adjust. But I did discover, like over time, that as much as we talk about exercise in this day and age, it's really interesting the ways in which exercise benefits not just your body, but also like your subjective, emotional well-being, right? So there are 5 ways in which like exercise benefits your mood.
Tell me more,
Tell you
Rob.
more. So there's this interesting article at Greater Good, and one of the ways that sort of improves your mood is that it helps you, that exercise high that you get helps you to connect with other people better. And there's something about being like on that runner's high or that exercise high that when you're performing, maybe it's a group class, you're doing something in concert or in unison with like other people, you feel more connected and more bonded to those people.
I will say, if any of you have ever gone and ordered coffee after you worked out, you're way nicer to that barista. You're like, yes,
Yeah.
I just nailed it. I want this venti, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, like you could sing your order.
It's so true. It's like, well, they're endorphins, but they call, it's like those don't worry, be happy hormones in your brain. All of a sudden, they're just like flooding your entire body, and it's so much easier to be nice to people when you've actually worked out, right?
absolutely.
So that's one of the ways. I'm not going to cover them all, but another way is it just makes you more sensitive to joy, which is sort of the same point. The first point is really more about other people. This one's just about that you feel good, even if you're not going to get coffee and you're not connecting with people. You just feel better overall, and it makes you much more sensitive to the ways in which your life is already good. Easy to remember. And then the
There you
third
go.
one I'll share is that it makes you brave. So interestingly enough, yeah, it increases your courage. So basically, I think what it does is it dampens your stress and anxiety response. It dampens that like sort of fight or flight response. So you're going to find yourself more brave and more courageous in your life, not just in the gym.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When I used to practice yoga before I hurt my hand, I'll never forget it. I was in a class and she said, we're going to do headstands now. And I laughed out loud and I said, you want me to do a what? No way. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Great to watch you do it. But I tried it and I was so satisfied, and I did.
Really?
I felt brave.
Yeah.
I thought I started my day upside down. I can handle anything.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, I can appreciate that. One thing I will tell you I'm not brave about. I took a hot yoga class once. Oh my gosh, like literally. Are you serious? I mean, it was so insanely hot. I think after it was like a 60-minute class, and after like 45 minutes, I was like, dude, I'm gonna vomit. It was so ridiculously impossible. I felt like it was impossible. But everybody
Really?
else was just fine.
Well, I'm the girl who's always cold, so I was like, oh, it feels nice and warm in here.
Finally.
I'm not freezing for once.
Finally, a comfortable temperature. Yeah, but if you're interested in an article, check out Greater Good.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you, Goodies, for the snacks, of course. And stay tuned, we've got some great interviews coming up next. And I'm Jessamine Moyer. This is EverTalk Live, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. in the Ever Media Studios for a little Hollywood and happiness, positivity, and pop culture on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app, and of course, streaming live on all socials.
I've got so much love in my life, and then I get to do this with you every single day. I mean, it's incredible.
If you have a dream, do not let anything stop you.
You can have all the money or all the success in the world, but if you don't have peace, it's all worthless, really, right?
Happiness from the inside out. Please be sure, if you haven't read this book,
Sweet.
you've got to. I
important to
love
remember.
what we do.
I do too, Jess.
Miracles. I'd like just my life to be an example that miracles exist. I am just so grateful that we get to be a part of this journey together, Rob, whether it's 4 a.m. texting up peanut butter and jellies or coming to you live Monday through Friday every 9 a.m. You know when you're going to see that, Eddie?
Yes.
When we're holding it in our
That's
own
right,
hands,
that's
Rob,
right.
for best digital daytime talk show.
What makes people lucky, like actually lucky, is that they believe they're lucky.
Thank you for being my mentor, Rob.
Likewise.
He didn't even know it.
True.
I'm out all the time. I'm everywhere. I'm drinking my wine. I'm doing the show. I'm stepping and repeating. I'm some kind of red carpet. I had a little too much. I said, one drink Jeslin. One drink Jeslin. 2 tequila Jeslin. 2 tequila Jeslin.
One drink jazz.
Is this one drink Jeslin? I hope you're proud, Rob.
I'm very
reading
proud
a
of you,
book.
actually. I don't know how you The hair is killing it today.
Oh, thank
Are you
you.
feeling-
Clearly, we have no fun around here. It's a
Let's be
thing.
honest.
Thought of the day: light, love, and magic. Oh, I do it fun. It was wild. Absolutely. Oh my God! Do you know we're still on live, Rob? Right now,
You gotta be kidding.
talking to my angels.
That's hilarious. That's-
They always say if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, right? I absolutely love what I do.
Yeah,
We
it's
couldn't do what we do without the support of you watching. Thank you for sharing, for DMing, for commenting, for continuing to support us as we grow and scale our vision, for the people in the studio and their friends and families for having our backs. We're so grateful.
Right. And I'm most deeply and genuinely grateful for you. Truly I am, Jazz. It's just a pleasure every day to get to connect with you and work with you. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful for you. We love you, Rob Mack. There isn't a man or woman who hasn't met you and said you're the best dressed person in Los Angeles and the happiest guy we know. It's an honor to be able to do this show with
Appreciate
you.
that.
Welcome back to EverTalk Live. We are here with Shane Callahan starring in Hulu's Femme Fatale original Reprisal. This show is on fire.
Yeah, it is.
So tell us a little bit about your role, Brew.
Well, Brew's a member of the Banished Brawlers, and he's just he's a regular guy that just looks at this gang that he's a part of as just a job, you know. And but he's the thing I like about him is if you're in a jam, he's the kind of guy you want with him.
Yeah.
So.
Feels very Western Pennsylvania of you.
Yeah.
You're from there, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Titusville.
Okay. Like Little Washington, outside of Pittsburgh.
I went to school in Pittsburgh, Art Institute of Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic school.
Yeah, man.
It's you. Now look.
Yeah.
So did you always knew you were going to pursue a role in Hollywood, or a career in Hollywood, rather?
Not necessarily acting. I went to school for audio production. So learned how to
Wow.
record. I was a metalhead at the time, so I learned, you know, went to school, learned how to record music in analog, and but they had film classes in there that we had to take, and I fell in love with editing first, and then I really liked the filmmaking process, and my first acting gig was actually in my student film because one of my student films because one of the actors didn't show up, so I had to do it.
Really?
But I wasn't into acting at that point in time.
So when did you kind of catch the bug?
Well, my parents were sort of drifting up and down the East Coast for a while, and then my parents talked me into taking an acting class, and I was really, really introverted at the time, so I think it was like more therapeutic than like an interest in it. But some friends I made in this class in Wilmington, North Carolina, convinced me to go audition for a play, and then all three of us went to audition for it, and all three of us ended up in it. I think we're the only three that showed up, though.
Works.
But the whole audience interaction and it helped me open up, and I really dug the idea of taking dialogue and characters and building that, and I think it improved me as a human being more than anything.
How so?
Because I was, I mean, I still am, but like really incredibly, like way too introverted. You know, like to the point to where like I wasn't even allowing myself to enjoy life at all in any sort of way, and it just gave me confidence. You know, like it helped me open up and made me realize I'm more than just a hyper analytical voice inside my own head.
Yeah. We must be from the same family in some way, man. Right? Because that was my exact story. I mean, I was so incredibly introverted. It was painful, right? Like you couldn't enjoy anything, and you get stuck in your head. But you allowed acting to sort of be cathartic for you, helped you break out of that shell. When did you commit full time to doing the acting?
I'd have to say full time. Let's see, I've been over about 20 years now doing this, so I'd probably say in my mid-20s, I would say.
Yeah.
I was in early 20s when I started it, and I'd say mid-20s, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I lived out in Los Angeles for a while, and then went back to Wilmington, North Carolina, which is where Reprisal films, so it's kind of really cool to where I started doing this to be able to do like for me, the biggest thing that I've been able to do in my career in Wilmington.
Love that.
How full circle. Right?
Yeah, it is totally full circle. And like when we shoot, like I'm buddies with all the crew people and stuff like that, and you know, so like, you know, we go back to the 90s, you know, so it's really neat.
Yeah. So what do you think people are going to love, or do they do love about this project, about Reprisal?
Well, you know how like, I mean, there's a ton of content out there, and you know how like sometimes when you're in between, you're trying to find a new show and you want a show.
Totally.
I think this is that kind of show, man. Like it's the way they film it and the way they edit it, it's very different. So like it can give you a fresh kind of look at filmmaking for, you know, in this whole land of this golden era of TV series. And it's you know, lots of cool characters. Like it feels like if you like Coen Brothers movies, it feels like, you know, really kind of rich, weird, fun characters jumping out, and there's you know, and there's strong female characters that are tired of taking crap from toxic male egos, and it's pretty fun to watch how they fight back against that.
So if you could cast yourself in any role, what would it be?
In any role? Well, if I could cast, I'm worried I'm starting getting too old now, but as a baseball player.
Yeah, really? You always love baseball, huh?
Yeah, man, I always love baseball. I think, and I don't think. I mean, I was able to do like a short film with some friends of mine, but I wasn't in it. I helped make it, and I wanted to be a baseball player more than anything.
Well, you know, I haven't seen a remake of Field of Dreams.
Oh, man.
If you build
Right?
it, well, come on, maybe we need to start writing it right now.
Well, I'm gonna have to. If I was, I'd have to be like an old like knuckleballer or something like that comes in or something.
Did you have a favorite baseball player growing up? No, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Pirates fan.
Oh man, of course.
So, you know, like I remember like Bill Madlock and
Yeah.
stuff like that, you know, like, but Roberto Clemente,
Yeah,
you know.
totally.
And I'm still a Pirates fan, even
yeah.
though we're roughing it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know when you're not doing film and TV or in the field playing baseball, you're also very active for anti-bullying.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, this whole world is like, you know, taken off and new to me. And, you know, maybe you know Western, maybe it's in the Western Pennsylvania, I don't know, but like, I was definitely a misfit growing up. And I think I identify with folks that maybe were kind of
totally
pushed off on the outside looking in, and how they got there and where they get there, and I'd love to do anything that I can to be a part of improving that situation.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't get bullied is because I had older cousins that were like athletes, and everybody either loved them or were scared of them. So
yeah,
they knew I was like related. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
totally. I've always thought if I grew up in California, I grew up in the wrong state. Yeah. Because in California, like skaters when I grew up in the '80s, skaters weren't cool.
Yeah.
And you know, and out in California, they're cool kids.
That's
But
true.
look at you now, starring in Hulu's Wednesday original.
Right?
Who is the cool cat? It's Shane Callahan. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, and of course, tune in to see your show.
Well, you can watch all 10 episodes of Reprisal on Hulu now, and my Instagram, and stuff like that. Like it's _Shane _Callahan _
There it is. Underscore.
_
Yes.
Sounds like.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more at EverTalk Live. 5, 4, 3, 2. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm your host, Jez Moulier, aka The Trading Bell. What a morning it will be. Due to recent news, we're expecting that the market will be down today, but that could potentially present some opportunity for us. Let's take a look at our watch list. One of the things that differentiates the Trading Bell from any of the other stock shows, other than we do live trading, is everything that we do is on camera, so you can see it as it happens. You are seeing what's happening right now in this moment. 2020, it's all about money, money, money. That is my motto. Remember, money never sleeps, pal. That's right. That's why I'm here trading in Los Angeles live with you at the opening bell. Whew, sun is not even up yet, but the stocks are on the move. Numbers are moving faster than I can even speak. Well, let's face it. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I've got goosebumps. This is a history in the making. Top of the list, SVRA up 154% this morning. Build BVI at 162. Ah, that feels good. BPH, Spring Bake Pharmaceuticals up 22%. That is going to make for a very sweet start to 2020. Filled. Woo! That feels good. Just a disclaimer, this is an entertainment show, so please don't treat any of the information you hear on the show as an investment advice, because trading is risky. Let's end the year strong. Visit EverTalk TV, Facebook, or Instagram at The Trading Bell. Remember, every dream has its price. What's yours? Welcome back to EverTalk Live. If you are in the mood for transformation, well, this woman right here has mastered it. Evelyn is with us with a true story on evolution and started a very personal journey as well. Would you mind sharing with us? Take us back there, the moment you really decided to transform your life.
Oh, okay. So just a quick little, intro so that everyone knows. I'm a first-generation Asian Canadian. My parents came to Canada, North America, after the Vietnam War, and so they really had nothing. So growing up, I grew up on like fast food, whatever was cheapest, frozen meals, ramen noodles, and so I put on a lot of weight growing up, and so I was bullied a lot for my size, my ethnicity, everything. And High school was a really rough time because, there's societal pressures around you. I grew up in a very Caucasian dominant community. And so I stuck out like a sore thumb. And so, bullying, mental illness, depression, anxiety. And then the breaking point for me was I went on a family vacation with my parents to Australia. And, Australia is like 16 hours ahead. You're on opposite sides of the world. And so that was the first time in my entire life that I wasn't worried about what people were saying about me, about my body. And I was just so with my family. And when I came back, that was when I was like, you know what? Doesn't have to be it. And so I got a gym membership. And that was when I was like, I want to take care of myself from the inside out. And so that was kind of like the starting point. Mind you, that was a lot of yo-yo dieting, yo-yo cycling after I got the gym membership. But that was kind of the turning point, I think.
Wow.
So fascinating. So how did you sort of maintain the consistency about that? Because sometimes we make, a decision we're going to do something differently, but we don't stick to it. So how'd you stick to it?
So that was inconsistent for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And as prior to me being a life and business coach now, I was actually a personal trainer and fitness coach. So after working with hundreds of women transforming their bodies, I just realized that that's what we go through. We weren't taught the proper health and nutrition growing up. Our school taught us that is supposed to be a chore, so we don't have fun doing it, And so we go into it because we want to get skinnier, we want to be healthier, but then we don't actually have the roadmap to get there. And so what happens? We go hard for 6 days, maybe a month, and then we fall off for 3 months. And that cycle happened a lot for me until I actually got certified as a personal trainer or had a buddy that I brought with me and we held each other accountable. So accountability was a huge thing.
Oh, fantastic. I love the point you make there, and I think it's an important one, which is like, if you want to make a change in your life, it doesn't have to be painful. In fact, it's easier to stick to something that you enjoy, that you have fun with. So how do you do that? How do you make change enjoyable?
Gotta make it fun.
Yeah.
So when I was a fitness coach, my motto was making fitness fun. And so that's how I got the clients, because if you want to have fun getting to the results that you want, then come to me. And they all came. Now in business, it's making business fun. So it's all about understanding what isn't fun for you and then figuring out how to change that around. So for example, cardio.
Hire it done.
Hire it out.
Like,
That's right.
hire that one done.
Like for example, cardio. I grew up, I was 197 pounds at my heaviest. And I hated cardio because it just made you feel, more unfit than fit, right? And what does the media tell you? You go and run to lose weight. And so I thought that was how you needed to lose weight. But then I found my passion for pole fitness. So I'm actually a pole fitness instructor.
Sexy.
And you burn so much fat from that. It's the best form of cardio. So it's just finding the ways to make things fun for you, because there's no one size fits all in life, business, or fitness.
Such a great point. I love that point about making it fun. I think the first time I ever read that was Jack Canfield book, and he said, if it's not fun or you can't make it fun, don't do it.
No.
Right? So the other thing that's worked for me is music. Sometimes I integrate music in.
Yeah, listening to music definitely changes things.
So now as a life coach, what are the main things that are holding your clients back?
Limiting beliefs. That's why in my morning routine, that's the thing that I start off with, because if you go through your day, we all have limiting beliefs. Our ego is our fear. Everyone has it. It's not about trying to get rid of it. It's coming to terms with it, because there's, just like you guys were talking about with anger, there's so much power in that. There's so much learning. So, yeah.
It's such a good point too, and I think the challenge and opportunity, I think, for most of us is that we don't know what beliefs are realistic and which ones are based in reality or not, because they all seem like they're based in reality. That's why we sort of entertain them. So how do you said part of it is sort of honoring and accepting that these beliefs exist, and then what's the next step? How do you help people sort of move from then to the next
So
phase?
there's something called the Dickens process, where you identify what your limiting beliefs are, and then you figure out what the consequences of those are. So for example, growing up, one of my limiting beliefs was that, and it was instilled in me from society, peers, family, if you don't lose weight, if you're not skinny, you won't find love. And so that was the narrative that I lived by. And so when you go through life thinking that you're the fat girl, that you're not gonna find love, the consequences of that thought is that I held myself back from love. You know what I mean? And so the Dickens process is turning that around. So I am worthy of love, even, with my size.
I'm so curious though, because how did you really realize that for yourself?
Like the self-love part or the belief?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. Like, how did you realize that was the belief, that was the experience that was holding you back?
So my fitness journey funneled into personal development and spiritual development. And I've been working with my life coach for a little over a year now. And so he was really what really helped me with my personal development. So 2019 was the biggest year of growth financially, business, but most importantly was personal development and spiritual development. And I feel like when you go onto a mission to personally develop and spiritually develop, you're open to unraveling all of that up. But the limiting beliefs in the Dickens process, I actually learned that from Tony Robbins when I went to his Unleash the Power Within event.
Yeah, Tony
Did
Robbins.
you walk on the coals?
I did.
Did you?
I did. And guess what? I did not feel it. I actually
Yeah.
looked at them. I was like, I swear that's how much the adrenaline, like it's crazy.
Pumping through you, right?
See, she's a coach worth working with. She
Exactly.
can walk on fire.
That's
so,
right.
there you have it.
Do that, you can do anything.
Evelyn, please tell everyone where they can find and follow and work with you.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and YouTube at Evolve with Evelyn.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Evelyn. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Last night I dreamt and you were there. But when I woke in the morning, it didn't feel real. Putting the pieces back together, finding a strength I never knew. Start again. This time it's gonna be different. I'm learning to breathe again. This time it's gonna feel different. The past is in the past. Some things just never last. Learn to let go. Start again. Start again.
Welcome back to EverTalk Live. I am beyond honored to welcome this award-winning fine artist and friend of the EverTalk family. Lori Mills is with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jasmine.
So we mentioned during the commercial break this color you're wearing.
This is like your color.
The Pantone color of the year, classic blue.
Classic blue, and we
Yes.
see it translated in some of your art we have on set. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. Well, I love this color. It resonates with me. I have the good fortune of being a oil painter in Malibu. My life is a dream. It hasn't always been a dream, and we'll talk about that. But you know, the color of the sky, the color of the ocean. I just think it's a beautiful color. It's happy. It has energy, and it also has peace.
Yes, that's what I love about it. You nailed it. It's a very peaceful color. So talk to us a little bit about your journey, because I think so many people want to be doing what you're doing or something like you're doing in terms of being an artist and living in Malibu. It seems like a beautiful and wonderful life,
Yeah.
but I know it's been a journey.
Yes, thank you, Rob. Well, first I want to say I just love what you guys do every day,
Oh.
spreading positivity. I watch the show, obviously, and I just
Thank
think it's a
you.
beautiful thing.
Thank you so much.
So my journey is I'm born and raised in Southern California. I had the good fortune as a young girl to visit our beautiful national parks here, in particular Yosemite. And when I was 13 years old, my parents got me private oil painting lessons. And I was raised in a very simple family, but they thought that was important. So I continued to paint throughout my life. But I also went to UCLA undergrad and got a science degree, and I have a master's in business administration. And raised a beautiful family in Orange County, in South Orange County, Coto de Caza. My daughter's actually here with me today. Amanda and Roger, still painted, but I spent 20 years of my life in aesthetic medical device. Once my youngest son went off to college, I took myself up at almost 50 years of age to San Francisco and got a degree from San Francisco Art Institute
Wow.
oil painting.
Wow.
So that right there is so admirable, Lori, because no matter the age, you really took your life into your own hands and pivot hard to
yes.
move to Northern California, away from your kids, go back to school.
Yes.
Where did you get that courage and what sparked the idea?
What I think is so interesting, Jeslyn, is it's like the information was always here. It was always here. And even though I was in the corporate world, I was still an aesthetic medical device. And I think, you know, we talked about lighting my candle in the morning, and I burn incense. And a lot of it is just about being quiet. And I think we all are just such beautiful souls, and you just have to look and kind of see what's inside of you. And for me, it's just oil painting. I mean, I also throw pots, and I do other creative things. I knit sweaters for my children. Really, the creative impulse for me is to paint beauty. And something that I think is really special about Malibu is there's been sort of this Phoenix Rising theme. We had the Woolsey Fire last year. And so out of that suffering also can come great beauty. And I think every time something like that happens, your heart grows bigger and your creative impulse grows larger. Maya Angelou said, creativity is one of the things that we don't use up. The more we use it, actually, the more it grows.
That's fantastic. I love it. It's like the only math that works that way, right? The more you spend, the more you have.
Right. Don't we wish it worked that way with other kinds of math?
Yeah, it's true. That and love, I think that love works the same way, and happiness too. So talk to us a little bit. You said something interesting about quiet.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very underrated and undervalued sort of experience that most of us have these days. And so talk to us a little bit about not only your experiences with quiet, but also what you've discovered as sort of the fruits of being quiet.
Yes, well, it's a really good question. As an artist, we're impulsed. You know, I apply to contests and I have to paint, and I'm in a show in a couple of months in Santa Monica, the other art fair. And so there's a productivity thing that I think we all have in our heads. But part of being an artist is you have to get really quiet. And one of the things that I like to do, and this is going to sound woo-woo, but I like to put my paintings in front of me and have a cup of tea and sit with them and sort of have a conversation. Because I think even somebody that looks at my art that's a patron, it's a conversation between my art and them. But I sit there and I just get a lot from that, and then on to the next thing, and just opens up my heart.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So beautiful.
Wow.
What do you think it is that your art is speaking to the patrons?
I think my vision is to spread beauty. Vision really is just to spread beauty. And throughout paint, like the sunset paintings I brought, you know, like I said, there was the Woolsey Fire, and so there's this stark contrast of these burnt trees in the foreground and then a beautiful sunset in the back. And the regrowth and rebirth. Like I said, I went to the national parks my whole childhood, and I brought my kids to the national parks in Southern California. And just spreading beauty.
You know what I love about you and your work, in addition to it just being also beautiful, is that it comes from the same place that it returns to, which is the quiet, right? It's not only that the beauty comes out of the quiet, but also it returns you to the quiet just by observing it and feeling it. I feel more quiet here in my head and my heart just as I sort of appreciate and take in your beautiful artwork,
that
right?
means a lot to me.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me. Well, you know, there's this Myers-Briggs test that you probably are familiar with that we all take, and I come out as an introvert.
Yeah.
And I think because I was in corporate America for 20 years, I can definitely stand on a podium and put a microphone in my hand and be very extroverted. But I think my true nature is introverted, and that's neither right nor wrong. You just have to honor whatever it is. Like we talked about in the beginning, just going back to who you are. I think all the answers are inside, and you wonder what are the challenges, but it's all here.
Yeah.
I'm running the LA Marathon in a couple of months.
Oh my goodness.
And this is my second time.
Why? No.
Because mind, body, spirit. She doesn't just light a candle, she also runs.
Love that.
But so I think mind, body, spirit is super important.
Absolutely.
And to keep this body, you know, we're so fortunate to have breath every day and to have these legs that can take us places. And I'm sorry, what I was meaning to say, the last time I ran the LA Marathon, someone, they hold up signs and they give you licorice and oranges along the way. And someone on San Vicente Boulevard held up this sign that said, everything that you are and everything that you know is already inside you. And that still resonates. I still think about that all the time.
Just beautiful. I love that. And I am a runner too. I just haven't done a marathon. We were just
should do
talking
it.
about that on the break, actually.
Okay. Well, I just got an
Sounds
email.
awesome.
It's 85% filled, so you can still
Awesome.
sign
I'll
up
be
for
there.
the LA
I'll be
Marathon.
watching from the sidelines.
No.
Curious, Lori, as an artist, and if you're ever experiencing a block, which could be hard to do with a sunset in Malibu, but I'm sure it does exist, what do you do to get yourself back into the right mind and heart?
It's such a good question. I think what can be intimidating for writers, actors, painters is that first step. So what I do is I have a blank canvas, and I am a photorealistic painter, but what I will do is I will paint my feelings. So I do sort of a mandala of, I just get my paints and I just kind of throw paint, and I have no agenda, I just get my feelings out. Because there's something about writing that first sentence, or just, like I said, a blank canvas can be very intimidating, just getting that first brush stroke on the canvas, and then I'll set that to the side and I'll start painting what I'm painting.
Love that.
It's like a little mind trick.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's a great mind trick. Is there anything else you do to really kind of set the tone besides have your cup of tea and have the conversation? You light candles, but is there music you listen to, or?
I listen to Celtic women. My daughter and I were listening to that this morning. You Lift Me Up, I think, was the song that we were listening to. I believe in crystals. I believe in the power of crystals. I had those in the moonlight last night. I brought those in. They had recharged. I believe in incense. We burn some jasmine incense. Oh, one of a thing that I do every morning and sometimes at night, you take 2 drops of orange oil and you put it on your palms and you go like this. I learned this from it sounds cliche, from my Malibu yoga class. And you rub it together and you just breathe in the orange oil. And there's something about that, and it's like a beautiful, it's kind of like the Pantone color of the year. It's like a beautiful energy, and then also a calm.
Oh, I love that. It's like Mr. Miyagi in yourself.
It's totally like that.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you, Lori. We so appreciate you
Thank
and the
you.
beauty that you are bringing to the world. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, and of course, your art.
Yes, thank you. So I painted the Malibu Farmers Market. That's from 9 to 3 on Sundays. You can literally come down and you'll see me with my painting easel. I'm represented by Tracy Park Gallery in Malibu, which year after year she wins Best Gallerist in Malibu in Cross Creek, right next to Taverna Tony's. Please come and see her. There's a big show this Saturday. And then my Instagram is Lori Malibu Art.
Thank you so much. So inspired.
Lori Malibu
Yeah,
art. What a
really
good
dope.
handle. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. Boy, what a day of fantastic interviews, huh?
What a day, and happy Tuesday, by the way. Thought today was Wednesday all day.
It feels like Wednesday. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the culture shock from returning from the holidays, but
I don't
it feels like a
know.
Wednesday.
But Tuesday, which is good news. That means you get 3 more days of us here.
Indeed. Boy, I got to express my gratitude to the amazing guest we had today. Shane Callahan. Are you kidding? Western Pennsylvania connection. Amazing.
What a guy. He is the kind of guy you want in
He
your
is.
corner, just like his character Brew, of course, on Hulu's original Reprisal.
Yeah.
Another one to add to your queue if you're looking
man.
for something to watch tonight.
I was looking for something too because I ran out of what I was watching. Billions, Blacklist, Good Place, and they're like all in between seasons or something.
Reprisal.
Reprisal.
Binge
It's on.
all 10
Right?
episodes. There
Done.
you have it.
Yes, indeed.
And get ready to evolve with Miss Evelyn. What an incredibly inspiring woman, really.
Absolutely. I'm always most inspired, I think, by people who sort of just make a decision to transform their lives, and they follow through with it, and then they teach others that. I mean, I think that for me is always so inspiring, partly because it's so hard often to make change. You know, you say you want to do something, and then 10 years later you look back and you're still doing the same thing you've always been doing. So that was a really awesome interview, I thought.
And Lori Mills. Honestly, that painting looks so good behind you. We might have to
That's
do
it.
that one
I
right
know.
here on set.
That's my favorite color, too.
Pantone blue.
Yeah.
Wow, just stunning. I just love her heart.
Oh my gosh, she's like a living light, right? She really is.
She really is. Well, be sure to tune in tomorrow for more on EverTalk Live, streaming at 9 a.m. on all things social, of course, on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to see you guys tomorrow. I know it. Have a great day on purpose.
Tomorrow will be Wednesday.
Yes,
Until
exactly.
then,
That's
happy
true.
Tuesday,
That's true.
Rob.
Happy Tuesday, guys.